Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news video, we're going to tell you why WWE are no longer trying to steal AEW wrestlers.
Eric Young lifts the lid on his recent WWE release.
WWE are thrilled with a certain act at the moment.
And our Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor card has been hit by huge changes. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
Alright, we're going to kick this thing off by talking about some pretty interesting intercompany talent poaching, signing, stealing, whatever words you want to use, stuff that's been going on. We've got a report here from Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio noting that WWE are not exactly interested in trying to acquire AEW wrestlers at the moment. And this is on account of the ongoing lawsuit between WWE and MLW, which you can read up online. You can read up about that, which is having an impact on how WWE handles talent acquisitions. So I'll read you the quote from Dave on Wrestling Observer Radio. WWE is very leery because of the MLW lawsuit, so they're not making... Okay, you've got to get through the Davisms here, bear with me. So they're not making like if that MLW lawsuit wasn't there, WWE, and it's not just these guys, there are other guys in this that relates and have an interest in at least hearing from WWE. I think he's trying to say that if it wasn't for the lawsuit, there'd be wrestlers in other companies that might want to talk to WWE.
Yeah, why use 5 words when you can use 20?
This is it. If you don't speak Meltzernese, that will sound like complete nonsense. But he continues. He said, in one case, there has been interest in going to WWE from a wrestler in another company, but WWE has been uncharacteristically, not aggressively trying to steal talent unless someone's contract is over because of the MLW lawsuit. This is a stark contrast to the situation we had last year when it was reported that WWE were basically calling up AEW wrestlers and going, hey, want to come back? And it was like, brother, I've got a 2-year what is this? There was various names speculated and mentioned as part of that. I think it was reported that someone had done that to Swerve Strickland and he went, no, bye.
Good for you, Swerve.
Obviously, you can't tamper with people's contracts. You can't sign someone who has a legal agreement somewhere else.
What do they call it in football? Tapping up.
Tapping up. So this is a big U-turn from that scenario. And they're not trying to steal wrestlers.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. You shouldn't be trying to do that. Whoever you are, WWE, AEW, anywhere, to be perfectly honest.
Just play fair.
But yeah, I think we all kind of knew they were trying to stick a wrench in the cogs, or whatever the phrase is, last year to try and just mess things up a bit for AEW. And it makes sense, A, that the MLW thing has made them think twice about doing that, understandably. And B, look, they're concentrating on themselves probably right now. They're doing really well, and they're flush with talent, new talent. The likes of Grayson Waller being called up, and we talk about NXT talent quite a lot on this news, and they have so much options down there. And if they said suddenly, bollocks, we need 3 new women and 3 new men and a tag team to go up. Off the top of my head, I could easily pick people from NXT.
Tony D'Angelo.
No, shoot real good people like Roxanne Perez, like the Creed brothers, like people like that. They are spoiled for choice across their rosters. I'm sure, if they said tomorrow, by the way, MJF's contract, we calculated it wrong, it's up next week. I don't think WWE would be like, let's casually see if we can try and pursue him. They'd be going after him, but... Yeah, it's understandable that they don't want to get any more legal hot water.
Yes, I think that you don't get sued is generally a good approach to life. But let us know down in the comment section below, are there any AEW
Who do you
wrestlers?
like to see get poached?
Yeah, who do you want to see poached like an egg? There you go, let us know.
Yeah, either way, WWE to AEW or AEW to WWE, let us know in the comment section below.
You gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelette, haven't you? So,
You're a genius, no one's ever said that before. But speaking of people leaving WWE, Andy, Eric Young obviously left WWE. Well, he returned to WWE, didn't appear, and then left.
I'm not laughing at Eric Young.
No, and then he appeared at Slammiversary last weekend, of course. Good for him, by the way, first and foremost. And he's lifted the lid on why all of this happened. And I don't think we would necessarily have just assumed this, but you can probably guess that this was the case.
Yes.
When it was like, wait, he's signed and they've not used him, now he's just left. He was talking with PW Insider, and he said, I signed up for one thing, and it turned into something completely different. And personally, professionally, and more importantly for me, morally, I just couldn't work there anymore. If you're a wrestling fan, you know what's going on, and I know you're a smart guy, Mike Johnson. You're well aware of what I'm saying and what's going on. It wasn't a super difficult choice for me, to be honest. I know it was a dream come true going back for sure. The contract was fantastic and all this other stuff, and what I was poised to do on the TV show was excellent, but in the end I would have had to answer to somebody that I'm just not willing to. That's where we ended up now. Like I said earlier, I'm a believer in fate and everything happens for a reason, and I'm not mad about it, I'm not bitter about it, just like I wasn't last time. Obviously, it's a massive mistake on one person's part, but a huge gain for wrestling. What could he possibly be implying here, Andy Murray?
Pretty easy to figure out what he's alluding to, isn't it?
It's Vince.
Yeah.
It's Vince.
Pretty clear when the timeline, when you look at that, he came back in November, he asked for his release in April, who came back in January, and whose status as like the guy again was cemented in April. It's quite clear that he's referring to Vince McMahon without naming him. Again, I respect this a lot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Eric. I like it. I hate using terms like "good for you" because that sounds quite condescending.
Yeah.
But he's sticking up for what he believes in. I respect this immensely. I think personally he'll probably have a better time in Impact anyway.
Yeah.
Like because they'll do more with him. Like he'll be a bigger deal to Impact than he would be to WWE.
They'll do something with him.
Yeah, they'll put him on TV for one. He's already back at Slammiversary. He's wrestling Nick Aldis next week. You know, I think that'll be Nick's last match. For Impact. So it's already taped. So yeah, like nothing but respect for Eric Young. He's probably in the position where he can just go, nah, screw this. That sounds bad. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Not everyone is in that position, but it's great that he has the power as an independent contractor to just go sack this big contract money. I'm not working under this situation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah, I think I've got a lot of respect for him for doing this, making this decision. Like you say, some people can't. Some people don't want to because they're still going to benefit within that company, and that's fine. But I like the fact he said, what was the phrase? Personally, professionally, and most importantly for me, morally. He can stay there. Good for you, Eric.
Yeah, fair.
Pat on the head.
Pat on the head. You know what you should pat? The subscribe button.
Oh.
Hey, you do that, you keep up with us. We do this every day, except we're both on holiday quite a lot coming up. So it'll be a bit weird.
Someone does it every day.
Yeah, people occur, things happen. We're serving every day. Like the thing in the background, like this alligator,
And on the weekends with Gareth Morgan and Andrew Pollard fills off this week, so it'll just be those two.
You can't use that word about them because they're too nice.
No, they're two best lads.
Absolute bastards. Right, let's move over to our next story today. You weren't expecting to see you next Tuesday on the news, brother.
I was thrown by this, and I was thrown by this.
Yes. Let's move. It's serving.
It's absolute art, isn't it?
Tell me that this alligator is not serving. Right, let's move over to the Judgment Day. You're going to be shocked by this.
Okay.
WWE are really happy with the Judgment Day.
What?
Mind-blowing scoop here on the news. Hard-hitting journalism, world exclusive, aggregating a story from PW Insider. That's who's reporting on this. Just noting that WWE are really happy with the Judgment Day. They're happy with how they've done on NXT, and they're happy with how NXT has done with them on it as well, noting that they kind of credit some recent good numbers NXT has had to the Judgment Day being around. Obviously this week, Dominic became the North American champion. He beat Wesley. We did a whole ass video about that the other day. I think it's one of the best videos we've done in a while. They're all great, let's be honest. Great. But this was like, instead of just being like a 10 out of 10, this was like a 200. It was amazing. Put yourself over, man.
Yeah.
This week's NXT did a really good TV
I was astonished
rating.
when I saw this. I don't care, but it was nice to see it go up.
It just shows stuff works.
Yeah.
That people are connecting with the Judgment Day. 0.21 in the demo, 746,000 viewers. The peak quarter hour, according to Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics, was Dom versus Wesley, which actually went up 21% in viewership. And it was like 840,000 viewers. So like NXT did really well. It did well last week as well, and it did really well. The episode Seth Rollins was wrestling on, that was the best thing they've had in years. So yeah, it's no surprise that they're happy with what the Judgment Day have done for this brand. It's a great stable, and people are connecting with it.
Yeah, don't just dismiss this as, well, if they put anyone on the main roster on NXT, then the rating will go up. That's not the case. Nothing against him, but when they put Edge on that show, no one cared.
The rating literally went down.
Yeah.
When Edge came back and he won the Royal Rumble, and he was on each show Raw, NXT, and SmackDown in the same week, every single one of them went down. So it doesn't work for everyone.
No. But what did you call him? Not Dominic Mysterio.
Dominic. Eh?
Yeah, look, they're doing great stuff on telly, of course. I think all their characters are just in the perfect position right now. It's all going to fall apart probably after SummerSlam for them, if not in the next week or two for Dominic Mysterio, because you've got the Great American Bash coming up at the end of July. But look, we talked about them in a variety of different stories this week and last, about them basically being 1A to the bloodline in WWE's eyes. And look, factions work. Tony Khan should take notice of this, you know?
Yeah, AEW really should have more stables. That's the one thing they've been lacking since day one. I agree.
But speaking of Tony Khan, he owns Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor is tonight.
That's a better segue.
That's quite good. But it's a complete shambles, not in terms of it being anyone's fault. It's just been hit with a load of problems, as you've probably heard about. Fightful Select have documented all of the ups and downs. Careful, Fightful, we'll be in touch.
Ooh, my sunburned head.
Right. The original plans for Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor were actually rematches from Supercard of Honor. Samoa Joe versus Mark Briscoe, Claudio versus Eddie Kingston. That was originally reported by Dave Meltzer. Samoa Joe was planning for time off from AEW Ring of Honor. Wasn't originally scheduled for the Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. Ring of Honor were planning on moving on without Joe. Shane Taylor versus the brilliant, my words, not theirs, I Love You, Dalton Castle. Would have happened at Death Before Dishonor. Eddie Kingston was granted permission to work the G1, of course. As a result, the original planned matches were consolidated into Briscoe versus Claudio. Then obviously Briscoe had the knee injury, which required surgery, so the event settled on Pac versus Claudio, but they couldn't confirm that until after Blood and Guts, because people can get injured in that and blah, blah, blah. And they don't want it would be weird if you announced that prior to Blood and Guts as well. Like, these guys was teaming up to kill people in Blood and Guts, and then a few days later he's fighting for the title.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some great matches on this card regardless. Athena versus Willow Nightingale, obviously off the back of what they've done in the Owen Hart Cup. Joe versus Dalton Castle. Please.
That's so weird, I love it.
Please let Dalton beat him. Dalton Castle is someone who, you know, for my sins, prior to working at WhatCulture, I was very much, WWE's a thing, and that's it, right? And I came here and I was introduced to such a brilliant wide variety of wrestling. New Japan, more. I knew of New Japan, I just didn't watch it. And then sitting around the likes of yourself and the Dudleys. And then all the variety of different indies and smaller promotions and what have you. Dalton Castle I'd put in my top 5 of, who the hell's this guy? Because I love him.
Yeah, 100%. Not much to pick apart here.
No.
Well, I mean, there is a fair bit, but like, for me, Ring of Honor is a thing that every single time a pay-per-view comes around, I'm like, I find it quite difficult to invest in the TV, but when they present a pay-per-view lineup to me, I just look at it and go, that's amazing. So I don't care about the build. I don't care if some of these matches are last minute. Could not give a hoot because Pac is going to wrestle Claudio tonight, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. And Willow and Athena, which is literally always great, is going to be the best version of that match yet. And there's some other fun, like loads of other fun stuff on here as well. You've got Commander wrestling a gentleman called Gravity on this card. Hell yes. Get your jokes in about Pac and Gravity right now, because they've already been made, but you can pretend you're the first one to do it, like I am right now. Yeah, I mean, the show looks awesome. I don't care if the build's been thrown together or whatever.
Yeah.
Could not care less. I'm going to enjoy some wrestling tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. If I find myself still awake on Friday night, I'll be watching this live. If not, I'll catch up with it over the weekend. We'll be covering it over the weekend as well. So if you haven't done so, when we told you earlier, hit that subscribe button. We'll bring you all the updates on it.
Yeah, no ups and downs, but maybe some news and
yeah,
stuff.
they'll probably Gareth or Andrew Pollard will probably cover it in the news, and yeah, anything major will be covered here on WhatCulture Wrestling.
Bingo.
Let's move over to your Twitter questions or your YouTube community questions. I can't remember where I stole them from today, if I'm perfectly honest. At WhatCulture WWE, if you want to send us Twitter questions though, and yeah, the community page on our YouTube page, of course. For that, look out for posts and what have you.
Another benefit of subscribing, you'll see those posts before anyone else.
When's our Q&A video going out?
Today, 2 p.m. Or maybe 5.
Note to self.
Today.
Turn off mentions.
Hey, this guy's gonna die.
Look, we've all got opinions, alright? They're like arseholes. Kareem
comes out of them.
Kareem DeLille 3468 gives us our first question of the day. Cheers, Kareem. Will Ospreay said in an interview with Chris Van Vliet, two very handsome men in an interview there. That his dream match would be Seth Rollins. Do you think it'll ever happen, as Will is a Paul Heyman guy?
I think that the only real way that happens is if Will ends up in WWE someday.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, I think that man is going to be employed by WWE for the rest of his life.
Running, yeah.
He loves it. He's very much established himself as like the home team guy, and that's his right. And look, he's great. I love what he's done in the past couple of years in particular.
Did you see some of the people going after what happened on Dynamite going, a dancing world champion? Are you kidding me, AEW? And people are like, have you seen who the world heavyweight champion is, dickhead?
Yeah, I know. It's like, you can't dance on TV. Okay, cool.
Did well from that as well.
Yep, absolutely. Rollins.
Adam Cole thrusting his cock in the air turns out to be quite the ratings draw.
Well done.
Certainly over in the Hamfler household, I know that.
Seth Rollins ain't leaving WWE,
yeah.
So that would mean Will Ospreay would have to go over there. I think Will Ospreay enjoys working for New Japan and living in Japan and being able to go to the UK too much to do that.
Yeah, so. I think he may eventually go there. I just don't think this is going to happen anytime soon. Yeah. And when it happens, obviously, he'll need to spend some time in NXT learning how to
work
wrestle.
the hard cam.
Yeah. Look at his hands. And but I wouldn't rule it out. It's wrestling. Never say never. And I think despite their coming together on social media in the past, I think those two know that they could easily produce a 5-star classic together.
They would 100% put any stuff aside.
Maybe 100%. One day all the promotions will get along and they'll all...
Yeah.
I wouldn't hold your breath, but still.
Hey, don't mention star ratings around Seth Rollins, however. He might get a bit annoyed.
Yeah. To challenge the Sun 2003.
That is bold, challenging the Sun, but all right. You're gonna have a punch-up with a burning orb of fire. Okay.
That's if you believe the sun's real, of course. Some conspiracy theories out there.
I've heard it's actually a lamp.
Turn it off. It's night time.
It's melting the ice wall.
Actually, this continues on from our first question.
Okay.
Because it's about people going to work in different promotions.
About flat earthers.
Name 4 WWE wrestlers you'd like to see in this year's G1 and what block you'd put them in.
Flat earthers, AJ Styles. Sorry, AJ. I know he doesn't actually believe that stuff. No. Right. So I have no memory, so I can't remember the specific blocks.
No, we'll just shout out people we'd like to see him face.
Yeah, the way I kind of consume the G1 these days is to just look at the day's card and go, cool, I'm going to watch these.
Yeah, watch this and this.
My brain can't store the information, it's broken. So, what WWE wrestlers do we want to see in the G1? Gunther, straight up, easily.
Yeah.
You can face Shingo, it'd be amazing. You can face Ishii, it'd be amazing. You can face Eddie, it'd be amazing. You can face anyone.
I just thought the first one that popped into my mind was Brock and Eddie. And I was
my God.
Yes, please.
Brock and Yano.
Brock.
Perfect.
I was going to say Gable and Yano, but that's better.
Oh, Gable would be great as well.
Gable would be good because he could have the Yano match. The Yano match.
And he'd make it really silly.
And then he could have oh, wait a second, this is one of the best matches of the year with other people, because, pass it on, Chad Gable's quite a good wrestler.
Sheamus.
Ooh!
Sheamus would kick the crap out of dudes, and he would, because he's so huge, he would really get over. It would be incredible. Sheamus rules.
Yeah.
How much did they ask for? 4?
4.
I mean, we could do 10.
Yeah, we could just keep going here.
Rollins would be great. Sheamus and Gunther are my top 2.
Yeah.
Honestly. But I mean, the roster kicks ass. So.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley would be awesome.
Rhea Ripley versus Yano. Why not?
But oh man, I want to see. Basically, I want to see Gunther sat. They've got history. Gunther sat there looking very Gunther-like, and then Gabriel Kidd just fucking jumps on him. That was so good, by the way.
Flying over the desk.
Friend of the channel, obviously ex-WCW, but doing... And backed himself. That's what I like about Gabe. I bumped into him randomly on a night out in Chesterfield about 6 months ago, and it was like this weird bar in Chesterfield, and I was like, "Oh, that guy looks a bit jacked." He turned around and it was Gabriel Kidd, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing out in Chesterfield?" I think it was his birthday or his friend's birthday, but top guy, an ass kicking out in New Japan.
He's a war dog, in fact.
Yeah. It's so good. The best bit of that is not actually the dive. It's the bit where he's done the dive and you go well, that was a cool spot. And then he takes a swing at someone else.
He just flies all the way around. It's uncivilized.
Yes.
That's what
we like in our wrestling.
We do.
Our LWD vlog gives us our final question of the day. Should WWE bring back Cyber Sunday? I think it would do really great in today's world. I like that idea.
Yeah, I do. My question would be, would they gimmick the polls, or
Oh,
would
it was
they,
so good when they used to do that.
Yeah, like,
what would you like to do? What would you like to see Brock and Cody fight? What type of match? Would you like to see handkerchief match? Would you like to see a match where they don't actually touch? Or would you like to see a bull rope match? Oh, who are you going to vote for?
Yeah, John Cena's opponent. Who do you want, Brock Lesnar or Gilbert?
Then again, with the way trolls are on the internet nowadays, actually maybe they shouldn't do it.
This is it. Yeah, I think it would make sense. Everyone is online. The IWC doesn't exist anymore. Everyone is on these apps and stuff. Everyone's on the internet. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, do it on Tout.
Yep.
That's what I'd say.
Bring it back.
You might watch many updates on my Tout app. Maybe I'll move over to Threads. That's the way it goes, right?
That app lasted a while. It had a good day. It had a good day.
It had a good 24 hours.
Worst timeline ever. That app was a piece of trash. I've still got my account. It was like, you log on, and it's like, cool, here's 70 people I don't follow. Why? I want that.
What's the whole deal with Mastodon as well? The only Mastodon that I appreciate is Tony D'Angelo.
Vader, rest in peace.
Check out this video. We'll see you later.
Bye.